Hey guys, so I want to talk to you guys today about small daily habits and consistency and why these things are important. So, a lot of times when I am working with other people, also when I was doing a lot of self help work, um, one of the stories that I hear come up constantly is this fear of creating habits, like healthy habits for themselves. Um, Also, when I was trying to create consistent, healthy habits for myself, this story comes up that if I commit to this, then I'm taking it's almost like they're giving up their freedom, or that they're afraid that they're not going to be able to follow through with it, and then they're just going to let themselves down and give up again. And so here's what I want to offer. Number one, consistency, creating consistency and consistent habits is about building and establishing trust. Now, let me explain. A lot of us have, as children, as teenagers, as young adults, experienced an amount of realization, or we think it's realization, experience that we perceive as being proof that people are not reliable. We can't trust people. A lot of times this starts in our childhood because our parents are humans and they can't do everything perfect because actually there is no perfect. And so we develop this idea, this belief that people are unable to be consistent, people are unable to be trusted. And we then apply that to ourselves. We start to doubt ourselves and our own ability to do things. And we stop, I don't want to say holding ourselves accountable, but we stop giving ourselves the things that we want to do because we're afraid that we won't be reliable enough to do them. And so what we end up doing is by not creating these habits, by not trying to consistently create and establish and follow through with these habits, we create evidence for ourselves that we are unable to follow through on things. And so this is what I try and teach people, is that you have to start establishing the behaviors and doing them consistently, even when they're uncomfortable, so that you can build that relationship of trust again. You can start creating the evidence for yourself that you are able to show up and do these things even when it's difficult. And here's the second story that I hear come up, is that when it becomes difficult, people start to give the story or the excuse of, oh well, I'm just abusing myself. I'm being too hard on myself. And this if you come from this perspective, will end up causing you to quote unquote self-sabotage, because there are some basic needs that humans need, and a lot of these basic needs or basic values, there are some that every person has, and these kind of come in pairs, and these values can sort of contradict each other if you're not careful with establishing your own beliefs surrounding them, your own way of viewing them. And two of these values that every person has that can sort of become a dangerous territory of back and forth if you're not careful with how you see these things are the values of freedom and the value of structure. So everyone sort of wants this feeling of structure because it gives us a sense of security, a sense of ability to do things, to accomplish things, to be able to rely on our environment and our life and feel like we can depend on things to happen. But at the same time, we value freedom because we want the ability to be able to be in our heart as well, and to create and to be creative and be passionate and be able to feel free to do the things that we are passionate about. And so these are the two things that I see people go back and forth between, and they battle with these two values because they can't see how to make them work with each other. They appear to only work against each other. And so I see people all the time, they'll try and create healthy eating habits, But then they're like, oh, but I can't eat these things over here. And then I'm restricted from these things. I'm not allowed to have them. And all of these things, I'm not allowed, I'm not allowed, not allowed. And that feels like restriction, restriction, restriction. And then there's no freedom. And so that part of you that values freedom wants to break out of this. And so you feel like if I restrict my eating, then I'm just taking away my freedom and I can't live with that. And that's true because you're looking at it. You're believing that what you're doing is restricting. But there's more than one way to look at this. This is the belief that you've been taught, that these foods over here that don't serve your body, you need those for pleasure, and you need those for freedom, and you need those to have a good, happy life. But the truth is, you also want to love, nourish, and take care of your body. And that's why you have this desire to eat foods that serve your body. But then you see these other foods over here that everybody else is eating because society has taught us, like, these are the normal foods, these are the foods that make you happy, these are the foods that taste good. And so without these, you're going to lose out on happiness. And so you want them. And then, of course, your brain and your body have evolved to want them because they're foods that help you put on weight. And that's what our bodies have evolved to do. But that doesn't serve us anymore because we always have food present. We don't need to put on a ton of weight to survive anymore because right now we're putting on so much weight that we're killing ourselves. And so that's not loving your body to have the freedom to eat these foods, quote unquote freedom to eat these foods. These foods don't serve you anymore. And that's not to say you can never eat them. But right now we're trying to establish a relationship of trust to show ourselves we don't need these foods in our life to create happiness and to create the life that we want, to create the relationship with ourselves that we want of love and trust and also freedom. Because guys, here's the thing. You don't have freedom. You're a prisoner to these foods. You feel like you have to have them to have happiness. That's not freedom either. Because the truth is, you can not eat these foods. Eat foods that nourish your body and take care of your body and allow you to lose the weight that is causing you the health problems, to regulate your blood sugar that is causing you the health problems that you're having, to regulate your hormones to the point that you're not constantly craving food and being a slave to food. That's not freedom, being a slave to food. And so what I want to offer is that establishing these healthy habits daily of eating foods that only nourish and serve your body and only eating the amount of food that nourishes and serves your body and going back to seeing food as being about that. It's not about entertainment. That is freedom. Because you're no longer needing food to create your happiness. You're no longer needing food to buffer away the negative emotions that you're feeling because you haven't established that relationship of trust and love with yourself that you're going to take care of yourself and do what's best for your mind, for your body, and for your soul. Your soul doesn't need food to be happy. Well, your soul doesn't need food to be happy. Your body does need food to nourish it, but that's what food is for. And once we've established that relationship of trust with ourselves that we know what food is for, sure, is it going to kill you to have a bowl of ice cream every now and then to celebrate something? No, it's not going to. But until you're able to show that to yourself, I don't need these foods over here to be happy. I actually don't even need these foods over here to celebrate. I can celebrate fully and be in that celebration and be so happy and so full of joy and abundance without these foods needing to be present to feel those things. Right now, you are a prisoner to those foods, thinking that they are what gives you celebration. They are what gives you happiness. They are what gives you freedom. But what you're not seeing is that you're actually creating your own rigid structure of what you need for freedom and happiness when you can create it in and of yourself. So guys, these daily consistent habits, they're not about restriction. They are about proving to yourself that you have the freedom to do what feels good for your body, not what you feel like you need to do to feel happy and to buffer away the emotions of negativity because you're not taking care of your body and yourself. To try and distract yourself from the pain that you are unwilling to go through creating these habits and these beliefs and this evidence for yourself that you can eat healthy and take care of your body. That's the reason you're craving these foods, is because you're trying to get away from that emotion of not loving yourself. You want to not feel that tension of, I want to love myself, but I'm not willing to go through what I need to, or I'm not able to go through what I need to go through to show myself that, hey, I'm here for you. I'm here to take care of you. I'm here to love you and nourish you. And I'm sorry that I abused you in the past. I was believing a lie, and I don't believe that lie anymore. Here I am. Here I am. Let me serve you now. Let me show you how much I am here for you and to love you and to be with you as we go through this struggle and this creation of habits of love for myself. I'm willing to go through that discomfort for you. That is freedom. Because once you get to the other side and you've created that evidence and these habits become daily, you don't feel that prison anymore of needing these foods to be happy. Food just is nourishment, and you can go about living your life, creating your life with abundance and time and energy and fulfillment. And this is self-love. Sitting down to a tub of Ben & Jerry's every night because, hey, comfort and love, that's not love. That is not love. And if you're truly honest and take the time to be with your body and really feel what's going on inside of it, your body will tell you, I don't feel loved. I don't feel loved with all of this weight on me that is crushing my joints, that is crushing my organs, that is causing disordered hormones and disordered blood sugar and disordered cravings. That does not feel like love. But we buffer it away with more ice cream because then we don't feel that discomfort of our body showing us that it's not feeling loved. And so we feel like that is love, that we're loving our bodies because we don't feel that discomfort. Instead, we feel this discomfort over here of eating this food that doesn't serve our body, and we numb away that pain. That is not love. That is not a healthy body image. I see people all of the time, talking now about like, I eat what I want because I want to prove to people that you can have a healthy body image at whatever weight. And yeah, you can have a healthy body image at whatever weight, but eating whatever you feel like to buffer away the negative emotions, that's not love and that's not a healthy body image. That is not a healthy body image. A healthy body image is when you are willing to show up for yourself and show yourself, food is here to nourish my body. Food is here to nourish my brain, my mind, my soul, and my body. That is all it is here for. It is not for comfort. Because when I start using food for comfort, that is showing myself that I am not willing to show up enough for myself to love myself and give myself the time, attention, love, compassion, and comfort that it wants, that I have to turn to food for it. That's not love. That is not a healthy body image. And yes, you can love yourself at whatever weight you are. You can love yourself there, and then from there start taking care of yourself and eating in a way that serves your body. And I can almost guarantee that weight's going to come off when you do that. But it's not about losing the weight. It's about showing up for yourself in a way and proving to yourself, giving yourself the evidence that, hey, I'm here now, and I'm sorry that I believed this lie in the past. But I'm here now, and I love you, and I'm willing to go through this for you. So guys, that's what I have to offer you. Establishing daily habits is not about rigidity. It's not about restriction. It is about showing yourself love and showing yourself true freedom. The freedom to be able to live the life that your body is trying to tell you that it wants to live, but it can't get through because you're too busy buffering away with alcohol, food, television, internet, whatever that you can find in this world today to buffer away the discomfort of you not having an established relationship of love and trust with yourself. These daily habits are not restriction. They're not being rigid. They are your freedom. I promise you. And you can let go of that story and that lie of otherwise. Guys, there's so much more to talk about with this. This is why I work with clients for months and months and months, sometimes years on end, to establish this relationship of trust with themselves and help them work through the past evidence that they had, that love meant doing whatever that they wanted to do so that they could buffer away the negative emotions. And guys, that's why I work with people, because this topic is huge. And it runs deep in a lot of people. But if this can just open your eyes to seeing how you might be using food, alcohol, television, internet, I don't know, even exercise to buffer away the negative emotions. If this can help you open your eyes to start seeing how you might be doing that, then I beg you, please reach out. Leave your comments, leave your questions. Reach out for help. That's why I work with people. I work with people for this purpose, to show them how they can get past this and open up their life to true freedom. So reach out, leave your comments, leave your questions. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Love or like this video. If you want more, please share it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see more. And I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say and what your questions are. I love you all. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Ciao.